Hello my dearest friends, welcome back to my channel, Diana and the Book Hunt. We're already halfway throughout October, so I've got about 2.5 months until the end of the year. We all have about 2.5 months until the end of the year, and I decided to sit myself down and take a look at my TBR, so all the books that I'm planning on reading until the end of the year, and discuss them here with you because there's quite a few books that are on my priority to pick up until the end of the year. Some of them have been really hyped books lately. Some of them have been books that have been sitting on my shelf for a long time. Some of them are just ones that just are kind of mood reads, so books to get me in the mood for either fall or just late fall season. So I'm going to discuss 15 books with you today. All of them are on my priority list to pick up until the end of the year, so I'm just going to see and hold myself accountable at the end of the year to see how many of those I've finished, because I'm notoriously really bad at following TBRs, but let's just wait and see. I hope that I can surprise myself. The first book that I'm going to talk about is a book that I've had on a couple of TBRs this year, and I still haven't picked it up. It's Wild Eyes by Quicksilver. This book has been quite hyped this year. It's, I think, a single dad romance, and it has to do with like a billionaire who is in the music industry, if I'm not mistaken. I try to steer clear from like really popular books and their synopsises and people's opinions of them, because I don't want to be swayed, or I don't want my opinion to be influenced by them. So I kind of don't know too much about some of these books, even though they're quite popular. So I really am looking forward to picking up Wild Love, because Wild Eyes, the second book within the series, just recently released, and everyone has been hyping that book up as well. So to get to that one, I first need to finish the first one. So I definitely want to pick it up sometime soon. Unfortunately, I don't have an audiobook for it, so I'm going to have to read it on my Kindle. But that's okay. Whenever I have the time, I'm just going to try to prioritize it to pick it up and read it on my Kindle. The next book is a book that recently started getting a lot of hype, specifically by the YouTubers that I follow, by the Booktubers that I follow. The book is called Bourbon and Lies by Victoria Wilder, and it sounds so good. I mean, looking at the cover, I was already hooked, but then it's kind of like a romantic suspense Western romance. I've just heard everyone hyping that it's their next romantic suspense favorite, so I'm really looking forward to it. So I think it's romantic suspense in kind of a Western setting, and I mean, looking at the cover, it looks like this grimy bar kind of a situation, and you know, almost like these old school Westerns that you watched, or that I watched as a child. So I'm looking forward to this one as well. And then recently I found a book through Kindle Unlimited that I'm really intrigued by, that I definitely want to pick up soon. The book is called Plié by Jane Washington. This book is, I think, a spicy dancer romance where the heroine is a ballet dancer. And just since I recently read the 2 books by Chloe Engel, I really am looking forward to picking up more dancer romances. I love them, and I really want to give this one a shot. And then a recent release that I'm really looking forward to, because this year I read The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer, and I love that book. I gave it 5 stars. It's going to end up in my top reads of the year. The second book within that series, called The Wingman, is coming out, or actually just released a couple of days ago. I'm really looking forward to picking this book up, and I really hope that it kind of lives up to my expectations. Now that I've loved the first one, I hope that I love this one as much as the first one as well. So I haven't read the synopsis for this one. I assume it's another hockey romance, and I'm just looking forward to all the goodness. I really hope that we're going to see cameos by the other characters from the series, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. And then a book that I've been putting off since last year, since its release, is by Madison Fox. It's called The Good Game. It's the first book within her series. So this is a booktuber that grew into writing. So she's a writer now, and I've been following her channel for quite some time, and I've been looking forward to just try out one of her books to see if I'm going to enjoy it, especially because the premise of the book sounds so good. It's a gamer romance where there is also a masked hero, so it looks like a kind of a spicy good time situation. And yeah, I really want to support the YouTubers that I'm following that are growing into having a different career as well. So I'm really looking forward to this one, and I really hope that I love it. And then the next book is this one over here, which is the Book of Azriel by Amber V. Nicole. So I've been slowly but surely getting back into reading romantasy books, because in the summer I just wasn't too much in the mood for them, but now that it's getting a bit colder, it's kind of like sweater weather, sweatshirt weather already, so I'm looking forward to picking up more romantasy books, and this one is definitely high up on my list because it was hyped a lot during last winter. So I don't know much about this one either, but I know that there is some kind of a god and there is some kind of a quest, and I think the heroine's name is similar to my name, so that's good as well. And I'm just looking forward to it. I've been getting into romantasies again. I just read When the Moon Hatched, and I'm looking forward to a couple of other romantasies that I'm going to talk about in a moment. So yeah, I'm really in the mood for these longer and more epic kind of reads, and I really hope that I love this one as well. And then another book that is a completely different kind of book, which I've had on my TBR since it released, I think in June, if I'm not mistaken, but I've been putting it off. I'm not sure why, but the book is A Love Beyond the Stars by Jennifer Chipman. This is actually a science fiction romance. I saw the cover, I read the synopsis way back when, and I was like, this is something that I really haven't encountered a lot. I really haven't read a book like this before, so I'm really looking forward to it. So I really hope that I have the time and the mood strikes for me to pick up this book, so I can see whether I'm going to love it as much as I hope, or at least as I suspect that I'm going to love it. And then we've got a book that, again, I've been putting off for such a long time, and I have the audiobook of it through Storytel, so I'm not sure why I'm putting it off. The book is If This Is Love by Jewel E. Ann. Jewel E. Ann is one of my all-time favorite authors. I've read quite a few books off of her backlist, and I'm not sure why I'm putting this one off, because I know that I'm probably going to love it, but I just haven't been in the mood for it yet, and I really hope that I'm going to just push myself to read it, because I don't think that it's a long audiobook either. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 9 or 10 hours, so I should be done with it by 1 or 2 days, so I just should pick it up. I really need to make myself finish these books that have been on my TBR for so long. This is, I think, a small town romance that is based off of on a ranch, and I think there is an age gap between the characters, and I think there is a forbidden situation, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me right. So I'm really looking forward to this one as well. Now the next book is Better Hate Than Never by Chloe Lees. I think in April I read the first book within this series. These are like Shakespeare retellings, and I really liked the first book. I think I gave that one 4 stars, so I thought to myself that I want to pick up the second one during fall because it gives fall vibes. I think the cover at least gives fall vibes, so I think it's going to be a good book to pick up around this time of year. So I am definitely going to continue on with this series because Chloe Lees is just an awesome writer. She does representation so well. She has a really fun sense of humor within her books, very good banter, and there really is a very good balance between emotional situations, banter, romantic gestures, and there is also spice. So I really love the balance within her books, and I definitely want to pick this one up as well. Speaking about atmospheric books and books that I'm really looking forward to pick up around this time of year because it's spooky season, and I'm really looking forward to something that is going to fit this time of year's mood. So I'm going to be picking up Love and Other Conspiracies. This book is by Mallory Marlowe, and it's a debut novel, so I'm really looking forward to trying out a new debut author. This one centers on I think the heroine, if I'm not mistaken, is a paranormal conspiracy theorist, and I think they have like a podcast or something that they're doing, and there is some kind of an adventure involving a conspiracy that they go on, and I'm really looking forward to just try something that is fun and kind of atmospheric. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It actually has 4.06 on Goodreads, which is quite good for a debut novel, and I'm really looking forward to it. The next book that I really want to give a shot is strictly because the Love Librarian, so Caitlin, she recommended it a lot. So I really want to pick this one up. It's called Homebound by Meredith Trapp. This is a cowboy romance, if I'm not mistaken, but actually it's the heroine who is the bull rider, so a cowgirl romance essentially. And I just don't know anything about this book besides the fact that Caitlin loved it. So I really am trusting her judgment here, and I'm going to be picking this up because it looks like, I think at least the cover looks very fall-like to me. So I think it's going to be atmospheric as well. So I'm looking forward to this one too. Now, the next book I haven't heard anyone talking about, but as I was browsing my catalog of Storytel audiobooks, I found this gorgeous illustrated cover and I was immediately hooked. The book is part of a series, the Villains and Virtues series by A.K. Caggiano. I'm not sure if I pronounced the name correctly, but the first book is Thrown in the Dark and it involves some demons, some kind of spells, and the possibility of the universe being destroyed by this demon, and the demon I think is the hero. So it just sounds so intriguing, and when I opened up I think it's 3 books within this series, they all have such a high rating. Oh, it's actually 4 books and there's going to be a 5th one. Ooh, that sounds good. But the first one has 4.16, the second one 4.34, the third one has 4.42, and I'm intrigued. I'm really intrigued. I'm going to try them out and see whether I enjoy them, because I'm looking for something that hasn't been recommended too much on BookTube as well, because everyone is reading the same kinds of books and I want to try something new to see if I can recommend something fresh to you. Now, unlike the previous book that is underhyped, I want to try out another hyped book, which is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This book is another romantasy book that blew up. I think in the last couple of months I've been hearing almost everyone talking about it, and I think that there's a bit of a divide. Some people really love it, some people are kind of like, I don't get the hype, but I want to try it out to see if I'm going to enjoy it, because I had the same with Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Everyone was divided on whether it was a good romantasy or not, and when I tried it, I really liked it, so I want to try this one as well to see if I'm going to enjoy it too. Now, the next book I've been sleeping on for too long. I just need to pick this book up already, because I just recently also heard Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life talk about this book, and she said that it's such a romantic and such a wonderful book, and I just want to have a very good romantic book in my hands, something that will leave me swooning and have me longing to read more about this couple. And the book is Radiance by Grace Draven. This is another fantasy romance. I think it's a slow burn, if I'm not mistaken. Just the fact that so many booktubers that I follow, I think that Avery from Avery Romance Books also loves this book as well, and I just want to start on working through these well-beloved fantasy romances that I haven't tried out yet, and I definitely want to start with this one. Now, the last book on my list is actually not a romance, but I've been watching Jess and Tori's podcast. So they have this podcast where they're talking about bookish things. I'm talking about Jess from Peace Love Books and Tori from Novel Life, and I follow their podcast every week when they post, and they vowed that they're going to pick up a Frida McFadden book in the month of October. I think they're reading the same book as I'm picking up, so it's The Boyfriend. That one became available to me on audio, so I decided that I'm going to try one as well, because I haven't read a Frida McFadden book before, and I want to see what the hype is about, because this lady here, she has been popping out books left and right and everyone is picking them up, so I definitely want to give one a try. And this one is quite short. I think the audiobook is about 9 hours as well, so I want to give it a shot and see whether I'm going to enjoy Thriller by this author, and who knows, if I do, then maybe I can pick up more books by this author as well. So my dear friends, these were the 15 books that are a priority read for me to read until the end of the year. This is essentially my end of year TBR. Please let me know which books you're looking forward to pick up until the end of the year. Tell me if you've read any of the books that I mentioned here, whether you enjoyed them or not, whether I should prioritize any of these to immediately pick them up. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to put a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you in the next one. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Happy reading. Take care and bye-bye.